What's going on, YouTube? Sparks here, bringing you my battle, Week 9 versus Broforce. Looking at his team, I want a lot of it in the team builder, the idea behind the team, what's supposed to counter what. But if you look at his team, you'll see he didn't bring Arcanine, he didn't bring Shiinotic, and Piloswine, something I didn't really prep for as much. But it's kind of, I guess I had enough stuff to handle it, but it's good to see what he actually brought, which was the Registeel, Toxapex, Gastrodon, Heliolisk, Tyranitar, Latios. So he's got 3 walls. I think Tyranitar isn't... I didn't think Tyranitar was that defensive this game. I felt like it was probably some sort of setting up Tyranitar just because he's got so many walls. And then he's got Latios and Heliolisk. So I'll just get right into the battle. I screw up right off the bat with the lead off. I'm looking at his team and I'm thinking, what's my best lead off? And for some reason I thought Terrakion, but he's got a lot of things on his team. 4 of his 6 Mons deal damage to Terrakion, but if he did lead Registeel or Tyranitar, would have been good. It would have been okay, but you'll see he didn't. I probably should have led Garbodor, got some spikes out, got a Toxic off, something like that. But you'll see what he does. Gets the Brodon out. It's too slow. If I have to, I'll pause or slow it. So now I just go into my my dedicated offensive switch in, and you'll see it's the crit burn. Not the biggest of deals. It allows me to not be toxic now, which is nice, but the crit and the burn means that I'm not going to be at as full health as I wished. Got McHammer. That's his switch into this. I can't really do much to it, which is annoying. But I can knock off its Choppleberry, which is good because that's not something I thought he would bring. Not many people bring berries in this league, so knowing that he did bring a berry is interesting. Means he probably is a setup Tyranitar. Usually it's usually what it's meant for. And here I kind of just go Garbodor because I realized I don't actually have a switch in on my team to Tyranitar, and that's going to affect how I play the rest of the battle because it has Earthquake, which is bad already, but if it's a D-Dancing set, I really can't let that happen. Here might have been a misplay because he has a Sand Up. I probably could have went Excadrill here and did some damage, but I don't really want to weaken Excadrill at this point. Kind of want to keep it in the back because as long as Tyranitar is alive, Excadrill can just sweep his team. And especially if I can lower his team enough without killing Tyranitar, it'd be nice. But go back into this. And this is because I realize I don't have a switch into Tyranitar. So I need to make sure that I don't get caught with him versus Cryogonal. So I take the risky play and go into Terrakion because the odds are he's not staying in with... if he can't touch me and I'm burnt, so I can just recover off. And here, I go into my switch because it's just the safest play. And now that I've done that double, I feel he gets a crits here, which doesn't really matter, but I feel I'm safe enough to recover off because I don't think he's switching. He knows that I doubled last time and he wants to try to catch something off. So now he knows he can't kill me. He's going to switch out. So I'm going to go into something that I feel like that can just... What do I go into? No, I go for the knockoff. That was it. Sorry, I thought I switched here, but I don't want to double into anything because he might have stayed in, but I can kind of just see what he was going to go for and knock an item off. So we get rid of the leftovers, which is nice because now I know it's not like an Assault Vest. It's not something else. Like I know it's just no item. This gives me a Victini switch in, which easy, and this is what I prepped for in the team builder. I figured Victini invited in Tyranitar, so if I could throw off a Will-O-Wisp and catch it off guard, because I haven't really brought Will-O-Wisp, Victini, that or even defensive Infernape, that I could catch it off guard. But now I know I'm faster because he has no item, and I figured out because he outsped Garbodor that he has speed investment. So I know he's a speedy Tyranitar, but still not enough to outspeed me. Oh, it's not blue, not shiny. And here's a misplay on my part. I gambled for no reason because the roll was in my favor to kill it, but not 100%. And I didn't want him to switch out into something. And I think I just got too antsy because I should have just returned. I would have saved like 30% of my health. But instead, I let Pincer take unnecessary damage. And now I'm still not a threat because I can't kill Heliolisk with a quick attack. I think I miscalculated and I thought I could, but I couldn't. And here, he's going to read that I have to switch out, and luckily I brought Cryogonal because I knew he had a Surf, so I scout out. He's Life Orb Surf, which is not bad, and the sand goes away. So yeah, he has U-turn, which is good on his play because Volt Switch with all my ground types was a bad idea. Back into Tyranitar, and this is something I did not want. But at least now that he's burnt, I can kind of figure out what his game plan is. The burn will weaken him down to the point that I can switch Pincer in here, and best case, he goes for an Earthquake. Worst case, he sets up, and if he goes for a second D-Dance, Earthquake I think kills. So he has to attack, and it's sad I had to sack Pincer that way, but now that he's weak enough that I can throw Excadrill in, and he's got nothing. He has to switch out, and everything on his team dies to an Iron Head Earthquake combo, and I'm faster than his entire team. So I'm just gonna throw another Iron Head off, and I'll do a fair bit here, but Earthquake does like 90 something to 10 something, even if he's defensive. So toss that Earthquake off, and that's gone. So when he goes into this, now he knows he's faster. Like, I'm not Scarf. Yeah. This might have been this is the misplay, I think, that could have changed the game if I had done it better. But here, I switch in Comet because my game plan was keep Cryogonal alive. It's the only thing I can switch into his team. But if I clued in on his team, Latios is weakened. Heliolisk, full health. But everything on his team, Excadrill can take on. So it doesn't matter if Excadrill, or it doesn't matter if he gets T-Tar on Cryogonal, or it doesn't matter if Cryogonal dies, because once he sends in T-Tar, I switch, he either kills Terrakion or D-Dances, and then, long story short, Excadrill ends up with a sweep. Like, that's the game plan. Or I sack Victini. But he's able to kill me, and I should have calced it, because I didn't think Victini lived to hit, which was the issue. I thought he would kill Cryogonal, but it turns out that Victini was the one that didn't live 2 hits. So now I go Cryogonal. And I know right now my best chance, like, this is my opportunity to win. So I go for the Reflect because the only way he wins is with his his offensive, physically offensive Pokemon. So this gives me a chance, and here might be a misplay because I don't think I needed to sack Excadrill in this way. Because Terrakion, I thought, okay, set the sand up and I win. But this thing is apparently very bulky. I thought it was especially defensive too. That was my thing, because the roll would be in my favor if it was especially defensive. It was physically defensive, you'll see it doesn't do enough. And because of that, I luck out here. Like, if he didn't crit me, I was in a bad spot because I couldn't set up on the rest of his team. Although you could argue that okay, so actually no, if he didn't crit me, I'd still be alive. So I would be able to go into Terrakion here and then set up. But now that he kills me, he gives me an extra turn of Sand, or an extra turn of Reflect, which is nice. So I'm able to Rock Polish on his attack. And it does, yeah. I still could have lived a hit, so it's not that bad. And now at this point, I outspeed everything. And I kill everything, because Latios is the only thing that would have taken an attack, a close combat. But even a Stone Edge did like 70% to it, with a high chance to crit. But I would have had to gamble the miss. So now that it's weakened, he sends everything out, and then everything just dies to close combat. And it's nice because Terrakion hasn't been doing the greatest this season, mainly because I haven't really been able to fit it into teams, or it hasn't been able to do what I thought it would do. But here's a good example of its power, just like crushed the rest of his team. But yeah, it was a good game. I was worried for a lot, made a couple misplays that I probably shouldn't have, but I was a little tired. But the game turned out in my favor, and who knows? Like if I did the other stuff, he could have played differently, and I could have lost. But 2-0 win. It's really good, and it keeps me in the high playoff race because right now I'm second, and if I don't keep winning, I'm gonna drop. I'll even pull it up. You look at the scores here. You got Brandon with 8 wins. Me and Sean have 7 each. Steven has to play his double week, but once he does, he'll tie us if he wins both of them. And you got a lot of people here with 5. You got I think I guarantee a playoff spot now because of that win, but I'm still hoping to get a high seeded playoff spot because I don't want to happen like last year where I got 3rd and then I faced Mark and lost first round and got dropped to the second bracket right away. I want to hopefully make it to the end of the first bracket, but at least go far in the first bracket. But yeah, it's a good game, Mark. I play Steven next week, coach of the Cambridge Crawdaunt. We just finished our summer course together, and now I'm gonna repay him for talking me into taking that class. I'll see you guys there.